A man who was allegedly imprisoned for 20 years by his own stepmother has asked a heartbreaking question as investigations into the case continue. The unnamed man, who is now 32, set fire to his own home in Connecticut on the 17th of February, launching a daring escape from the room in which he claims to have been kept since the age of 11. The 5'9" man weighed just 31 kilograms when he was found, which fits in with the claims that he was constantly underfed by his stepmother, Kimberley Sullvian, who denies the allegations. He claims he was also subject to inhuman treatment in the house of horror, as he calls it, and was locked inside his own room for between 22 and 24 hours a day, having been removed from the educational system in the US back in 2004. During his time in education, teachers realized something was wrong, as he would try and eat out of the bin and was constantly too hungry. But sadly, there were no real investigations after they were told he had moved to another school. After he was initially found by police after setting the fire, they quickly realized something bigger was at play when he revealed what he claims had been going on. They, said detectives, determined that the victim had been held in captivity for over 20 years, enduring prolonged abuse, starvation, severe neglect, and inhuman treatment. He was found in a severely emaciated condition and had not received medical or dental care during this time. Despite it being well over a month since he was discovered, Sullvian, who reportedly made a chilling remark to a neighbour at the time of the fire, remains on bail, which led to a heartbreaking question from her accuser recently. State Attorney Don Jr. expressed the alleged victim's shock that his stepmother remains free following her recent court appearance, in which she pleaded not guilty to charges of kidnapping, unlawful restraint, cruelty, and reckless endangerment. State Attorney Don Jr. said, "This victim is afraid. This victim lives in fear. I introduced myself to the victim, explained who I was. His first question in his fear is, why is she out walking around when I was locked up in a room for 20 years? While Sullvian is under electric monitoring, she is not under house arrest, which the accuser believes could lead to a flight risk ahead of future court dates. Her next court appearance is scheduled for the 22nd of April. And now that I've actually read the story, I saw this story back in last month in March. I didn't really read into it. I was looking for different topics to talk about on the podcast. I came across this, but at the time I decided to go with something else in terms of a topic. But now I'm definitely interested after reading this to watch her next court appearance and to watch this potentially go to trial if that does happen, and learn more about this story, learn more about Kimberley Sullvian, learn more about her stepson. There's so much respectfully, this is a very, very interesting story, and I can't wait to see how this plays out. Superior Court Judge Joseph Schwartz defended the decision not to place her under arrest, citing the fact that she has no permanent address after the fire, has no prior convictions. On the other hand, I can see the argument. Someone could show, again, just according to the allegations, someone that can show an extreme indifference to human life, have such a lack of empathy. If that person could commit that type of crime, they are certainly likely to commit another thing. They might just be allegations, for now anyway, until we know what's going on further ahead, within the next court appearance or whatnot. But the fact that she's showing no remorse or empathy whatsoever, that raises some alarm bells to me. That makes me really question whether or not this woman is playing with a full deck of cards, or whether or not this woman does not actually care about the potential charges that are coming her way to do with this crime of how she's treated her stepson over the years since the age of 11. I don't really know anything about the dad, the situation with the dad, or the victim's biological mother. I don't think I've seen anything said about those two. If you guys know more about the story than I do, because as of right now, this is the only article I've actually read involving this story, top to bottom anyway, then please feel free to inform me about some of the stuff that I have questions about, with the dad and the biological mother. Are they both passed away? Do you not know his mother? You know, questions like that. And please feel free to share your thoughts down below in terms of what you think of the story. I don't know about many of you guys, obviously it's very early days yet, we can't really form a judgment in a sense, but I lean towards the victim with this. I feel for the victim in this story, and if what he's saying is true, which I feel like it is, because, you know, given the story and given some of the details that were made in the story, kind of feels hard to make up. But then again, I could be easily fooled, and I could be easily, and given that I don't have any involvement in this story, or any of the people involved in the story, it's easy for me to form an opinion without actually knowing the true facts. Which is what we all do sometimes, we're all guilty of doing that sort of thing. But either way, please let me know your feelings down below. Until next time, take care, stay safe, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye bye for now.